With the closing ceremony of the Pokemon World Championships, we got a lot of information for something I'm super excited for. Let's go over everything we know about Pokemon Pocket. First off, Pokemon Pocket is an upcoming mobile game created by the Pokemon Company, Creatures Inc., and DNA. It features digital Pokemon pack opening as well as quick battles. You get 2 free packs per day with 5 cards in each pack, but you will be able to purchase more currency in-game to buy packs with. The first set is called Genetic Apex, and there are 3 versions of the pack: Charizard, Mewtwo, and Pikachu. It has been confirmed that some cards are exclusive to each pack, such as Sabrina being only available in the Charizard pack. The total number of cards in the entire first set is 286, which is pretty large overall, but that makes sense for the first pack. The artwork for the game is what I'm most excited for. There are lots of exclusive artworks for the cards, like this Pidgeot and Eevee. There are also special 3D visual effects on EX cards that make them really pop. On top of that, there's a special kind of card called immersive cards that feature artwork that is almost like a diorama for the card. Look at this Pikachu card, for example. It has also been shown that Mewtwo has an immersive card as well. I'd hazard a guess and say Charizard will too. To show off your collection, there are a few options. The main way is through your collection binder. Each set will have a collection binder, and as you collect more cards, you'll be able to get different rewards or achievements. From the trailers, the only achievements we've seen is how many cards in total you have in your collection, and not to each specific set, but there might be set completion rewards as well. It was also shown that you can display specific cards you like in display boards, like this Gardevoir. On top of that, trading is also implemented. We can see 2 people exchanging cards in a coffee shop, and some people have theorized that trading might be limited to a specific location radius. Furthermore, the only 2 trades we've seen have been of equal rarity, so that's something to consider as well. There also seems to be accessories that let you customize your binder how you play the game, such as this Evolution game table, which I am 100% going to spend money for. If you're already familiar with the Pokemon card game, you might be aware that there's another app for playing as well, called Pokemon TCG Live. This game is separate from that completely. They're made by different companies altogether, so Pocket isn't going to replace TCG Live. Instead, it looks to be a competitor to games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and Marvel Snap. With that though, the gameplay is also different from Live. Pokemon Pocket features faster battles than normal Pokemon TCG games. It has a deck of 20 cards instead of 60, 3 bench spaces instead of the normal 5, 3 life points instead of 6 prizes, and an energy zone instead of energy cards in your deck. It makes sense to have fewer cards if you're trying to speed up gameplay. I also think that there will be a lower limit on the number of cards you can have in your deck to either 2 or 3. 4, like how it is in the TCG, seems way too much consistency for a 20 card deck. 3 might also be too much, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is max 2 of the same card per deck, but I'm hoping it's 3. From gameplay footage, we can see that it's a first to 3 points game, with knocking out a Pokemon awarding 1 point. There are EX Pokemon, and as you can see here, it says that your opponent gets 2 points when it's knocked out. The energy zone is interesting because we have yet to see exactly how it works. There are cards that mention taking energy out of the energy zone, like Gardevoir and Moltres EX, but we haven't seen footage of energy being put in the zone and how energy is normally taken out of the zone aside from these abilities. One thing to note with this more simplified gameplay is that the Pokemon themselves are quite powered down to how it is currently in the TCG. So far, the largest HP stat we've seen is 180, and that's on Charizard, which is a Stage 2 Pokemon. Consider that currently in the actual TCG, both Charizard EXs have 330 HP instead. With lower HP also comes lower damage values on attacks as well. There are still some strong abilities such as this Gardevoir and Pidgeot, but for the most part, the cards are powered down. This also extends to trainer cards as well. Some of the supporters we've seen are things like Erica, Brock, and Sabrina, which would be pretty unplayable in the current TCG, but will probably be fine in Pocket. Sabrina especially seems quite solid as a worse boss as orders. We haven't seen many item or tool cards either. The only one we've seen is Pokeball. When I zoomed in on the blurry text, I could barely make out that the effect was, put 1 random basic Pokemon from your deck into your hand. I am a huge fan of this for a couple of reasons. First is that search is a really powerful mechanic, so nerfing it to give you a random card is really good for the game. Second, this shows that Nintendo and Creatures are willing to make cards that would only be really feasible in a digital landscape, like we've seen with Hearthstone or Magic Arena. I'm excited for more effects like this that take advantage of the fact that the game is completely digital. In general, the gameplay is going to be a lot faster and a lot simpler, which makes sense for a mobile game with a large target audience. I'm personally hoping that the game still has some level of complexity and skill expression, but I wouldn't be surprised if the main focus of the game isn't really on playing the game, but more so on collecting. Special thanks to PokeBeach for a lot of the information, as well as to the PTCGP subreddit for interesting discussion and being on top of the latest news. Please consider subscribing for more Pokemon TCG and Pocket content. Thanks!